Well, hello everybody. I didn't wait for you this time because I just wanted to get this thing on and done. So here is my stock air box. Look at that weird looking snorkel thing. So this is all out now. And now my cold air intake is on. You can't even really see it. You can see the clamp where it clamps to, but I'll pop the seat and show you. So you don't have to take all this hood off, and I didn't take off my emissions. Hang on a minute here. I got my seat. There we go. Okay. So there it is now. So there's the new little sniffer, the intake. So pretty much you got to take these two side panels off. I had to take the back seat off. I had to move the rack out of the way. I couldn't get the rack all the way off because I got a strip bolt and I can't get the damn Torx strip bolt out. So I'm like, whatever. So I worked around it. So you just got to take off like this screw, this little baby one here, and there's rubber grommet that it pops into down here. And then you have to take out the lock system with it because that's got to come down out of the way. But yeah, you do have to pull this out of the way and loosen all the screws up underneath. I'll show you under here. So we got to drop the exhaust out of the way to get to this screw, and all of these on the bottom have to come out. These four and these two up here have to come out. This bottom then will drop down. And then you can twist and pull that out of the way. What I did was I knocked the boot off before I pulled this out. So I took this rubber boot, snorkel looking goofy ass thing off, and I just gotta kind of just twist it out of there. So you had to take the battery out, threw that over there, but I mean, it sounds a little bit throatier because now you're hearing air. Seems a little bit punchier. So that's on. I had to re-screw the bag down, and that's all I'm going to do with this now. Now I got my cold air intake on. Whether it's going to make any difference, I don't know. And the emissions, I didn't want to take all that off because I saw an electrical plug, and people say you don't have to take it off. So there's this big pipe right here. It comes down from the front, and it plugs into the side of the intake. Now, these Chimera intakes, I don't know if you can even see it in there. Maybe not. These Chimera intakes are a smaller pipe than this one. It's more like this size of a pipe, but you got to stick this big guy around it. So what I did was I had rubber caps because you're supposed to cap off the carburetor and like that. So I found a cap that fitted onto the intake, and then this big hose slid over that. So I used it as a spacer. Oh, you can see it right there. Let me see if I can get in there. So it's right above my fingertip. So there's that hose going in, right where my finger's moving back there. If you can see it. So that's just a small pipe. So when I knew I was going to do this, I went and bought, plugs, vacuum plugs. So I found a medium-sized vacuum plug like this, and I just cut the end off, used it as a slider, and slid the other one over it. So there's a black tip of one of these plugs laying on here somewhere. I just made it a hollow, Hello. I didn't use my intake sniffer for the gas line because I just plugged everything back into the carburetor, so I didn't need that, so I wasted more than a few bucks there. So yeah, all you do is take it for a ride now and see how she goes. But I'm waiting to hear back. Gotta give it a hit down. These sides lift a little bit. Make sure these are all tight again. So I couldn't do any extra welding on this or anything. Doesn't matter. because I won't be carrying gas cans with me all the time, so I could use it to put something else in. My drink of the day, in case you're wondering, is Tune. I thought I said turd at first, but it's Tune. Got 10%. It's blackberry cardamom, and it tastes like crap. Yeah, I don't taste any blackberry or nobody's mom, even though it's cardamoms. Probably pronouncing it wrong, but that's all right. So I finally think I'm done messing with this. I think I got enough crap on there. I put the Chimera sticker on to show there's got a Chimera intake. You know, all said and done, it's close to, well, yeah, it's over $100. It was $86 for the pipe and then the air cleaners, and yeah, so it's about $100 intake that looks like it's cost 10 cents. So, coming back to that, well, not coming back to that, I'm working on my top over here. You can see where it's sprayed and then it's not sprayed. See the difference? So I've sanded it all down already. And then the shiny part you see right here, I use this, the spray can. I only had a little bit in it, but I ordered another can. And so, hands clean. So this is nice and smooth. You can feel it's got a little bit of waviness to it because it must be they didn't plane it that good, but you can't tell unless I told you. So I'm gonna spray this when I get the other can. I'm gonna spray this down, let it sit, let it dry, spray it on kind of heavy, and then I'll sand it and then hit it one more time, I think. But it's a pretty cool looking center island table. Kind of freaky. Better than what I got now. You can see use wood filler. Got some wood filler in there. Notice that. This may be wood filler here too. I don't know. Or chicken scratches. Okay. So my neighbor went out, had to do some running around, said, hey, you want to go? I'm like, not really, but I'll go. So I'm dealing with the seller now on these, and I just heard an email, a message come in from eBay, got that distinctive sound, told them, gives a crap, blah, blah, blah. So, well, we're out running around yesterday with my neighbor. We stopped at AutoZone, and I told AutoZone, I said, I want, genuine AC Delco parts, the gold series that has the orange around here. This is orange. And the regular ones are black. So I get a pair that comes in. They're black. Box is made in China. I ordered it from a GM. Well, AutoZone ordered it from, I said, I want AC Delco, where they ordered them from. And they came in China. And the wrong ones. We had it mailed to me. So, he didn't, he doesn't know. So I called him and said, hey, I got some cheap ass bearings here, made in China, crap. It looks just like this, but they got the black around it. I said, I was supposed to get the gold series, and and I don't know. So they're reordering them. They're gonna go to AutoZone, and they're gonna call me when they come in, and I'm gonna tell them if they don't come in with the orange seal around it, then try again. Because that's the ones I want. I'm kind of a dink like that. Well, you want to get what you pay for. So, so the eBay guy I've been dealing with said, we'll refund you $33. That's the cost of 2 bearings. And just charge me for one of these. And I'm like, no, you can refund my money and send me another one of these hubs because I don't know if it's going to get ruined when I pull the bearings back out again. Am I going to hurt this? I don't like reusing stuff like that. So We're in the middle of messaging. And let me pause this here and go check. I got a message from eBay and I want to see if it's him. Okay, that was a him. Yeah, the last reply was, I said, yeah, refund my money for the bearings and send me a hub. So, I did order drilled and slotted front rotors for this and new pads. I'm like, you know something? I looked at them. I don't know. I didn't like it. So I'm like, screw it. I'm here. I'm in the front. Just replace them. You know, they're about halfway gone now. So, and I don't like the looks of the rotors. And I got to take the rotors back off again. So why not just put a whole new set back on? You know, I might as well just put myself right in the poorhouse doing this. But looking at it now you see why mechanics get so much money for this stuff. But so what's supposed to happen is when you press these bearings in, when you first do the initial press in of this bearing, they say you should use the old bearing and use this as pushing it in. So you're pushing on the outside of the bearing. You're pressing it in, you know, with this, not this. So when I went to press this in to the bearings, I just had the bearing there and I just pressed it in like that. Well, that's a no-no. The tool I bought, when the bearing goes on like this, the piece that's going to be pushing on is the inside of the bearing. So it'll be pushing on this and not out here. Because this shaft is trying to push some bearings out of this, you know, out of this cup like that. And yeah, so you have to, the tool I got has a small disc that just is enough to fit around this. So to push against these bearing housings and the hub at the same time. Where I was shoving everything in, pushing against the outside and not supporting this. And from what I heard, that's a no-no. Yeah, these bearings do look like crap. Yeah. So, yeah. So that's that. I was going to mess around to see if I could pop this off of there. But do I want to use this hub again? Probably not. Anyways, so that's the deal with that. I think maybe today my bearing installer thing will come in instead of using the press, because obviously I did it wrong with the press and I might have been the one that hurt the bearing, so I don't know yet. So I'm sitting there bored today, not doing nothing, being lazy ass, and I'm like, all right, let's get up and go do something. So I decided to do this one first because I knew this was going to be a pain in the ass and I had to take half the bike apart. And I got a whole crap load of screws left over. I don't know why. But I don't know why I got that many screws left over. Unless I put one in the wrong place, which is probably typical. But if I lose a screw, I got extras. Now this is that oil filter I was telling you about. But this is... Does it say 135 oil filter on it? Yeah, it does. Yeah, TNT 135. Okay, I thought it said 125. So, extra filter. A couple stickers on there. Got rid of this big clunky thing. So I'll put that over in the box of parts I take off of this bike. Gonna need all this stuff. So I got the Steady Garage sticker on this side because that's where I got them from. So I'll just pick out the little bit left of my mess here, and then I'm going to call it quits because I don't feel like doing anything else. If I get a little bit done each day, I'm happy. But like the car, when I'm just going to do the one bearing side first, then take it for a ride, you know, because it's got to be the one doing it. Anyways, that's it for me. Enough walking back and forth. I'll catch you guys later. So the cold air intake's installed. There's really nothing left for me to do on this thing. And what did I do with my charge wire? What did I do with my charge wire? Because I left it over here. See all this walking back and forth I do? That's all I do. This is why I like bringing my stuff over here. Should be a black wire dangling in the air. It looks like this. Because this was the white charge wire for the tire pressure monitor. And I didn't want it white, so I spray painted it black. So now I can do that. But I didn't get any paint on any of these, so. Alright, so we're going to put this back on and plug it back into the tire pressure monitor, and that's it. Alright, everybody. Catch you later. Have a good one. Take care.